Hi everyone, it's Engineering Technologist Nomuka and welcome to Tech Talk, where we'll be exploring the latest developments in the world of AI and ML. Today I'm here with Srini, a senior systems development engineer who specializes in machine learning and building AI and ML solutions for Dell. And he'll be helping us answer some key questions when it comes to topics like the current challenges of AI adoption and how organizations are leveraging AI within the machine learning process through tools like H20 Driverless AI to help overcome these challenges. So without further ado, let's get started. Thank you so much for being here, Srini.
Thank you for having me, Nomuka.
I think we've all probably noticed that companies are leveraging AI and ML more than ever, from deploying them on apps to retail fronts. But we also know that new technology typically brings adoption challenges. And I can imagine that the complexity of data science tasks introduces even more. So as an expert, what are some hurdles that you've noticed when it comes to leveraging AI?
That's certainly a great question. So we can probably dedicate an entire session to discuss various challenges in the industry to leverage AI, right?
For sure.
But if I think about it, few things that comes up in my mind are getting high quality data to train your machine learning models. Infrastructure is a key component. You need it to be robust and scalable to deploy machine learning models in production. Model interpretability. Think of it like there are highly regulated industries such as healthcare and finance. You want the stakeholders to understand how the decisions are made, right? So, and apart from that, additionally, you also need to have specialized technical expertise to implement AI solution. So, which is also very critical, I feel.
Yeah, certainly. All of those make sense. And, we know that AI as a technology is rapidly advancing and having things like the right expertise is crucial. So can you talk a little bit more about this particular challenge and, potentially how we can overcome them?
Definitely. Think about it from the point of view of data science or machine learning teams. One of the biggest problems is that even though there has been a surge of data scientist roles, there aren't really enough data scientists available to manually build all these models for different use cases. And even with the right expertise, you need to write a lot of code. You need to perform a lot of hyperparameter tuning, which is a very time-consuming process. And this basically also presents with another problem, which is testing the validity of each model. And you also need to gain the trust of the decision makers. So I feel this is one of the challenges that is currently very important to also take care of.
For sure. And do you have any thoughts on how we can mitigate the impact of these challenges, especially things like, you were talking about lack of ML expertise or potentially other resources? That seems to be, a pretty hard one to overcome from my perspective. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree on that. So when we spoke about challenges of AI adoption, right? So one of the keys that is that would help to overcome these challenges in general is simplifying the machine learning process. And this could be something like automating or automation of machine learning tasks, such as model selections, advanced feature engineering, or hyperparameter tuning. And with automation, think of it like you're using AI to do AI, if you will. And this basically allows data scientists of all levels to easily explore data, train machine learning models, and also optimize evaluation metrics to get better results.
Wow, that's really cool. Are there any related solutions that you worked on recently that you can, possibly share with us?
Yes, we recently worked on building a solution to tackle some of these challenges. One of them being Dell validated design solution with H20 Driverless AI. It uses AutoML to help engineers simplify and enhance the machine learning process.
Oh, I think anyone that has studied data science dreams of an AI system that can, actually help with the machine learning process. So that's definitely exciting to hear. And one thing I wanted to ask that I thought about as you were talking was how AutoML differs from things like ML ops. I think a lot of the capabilities you described seem similar in nature between them, right? So if you could just go a little bit in depth into, where they differ and where they're potentially similar.
Mhm. That's a very common question that comes up a lot. I want to say both are different but related. Think of it in short, the answer is they work in tandem. To give more details or explain a bit, right? So AutoML and MLOps are both tools and practices used to improve the machine learning process. So AutoML automates the entire process from data preparation to model selection, making it easier even for engineers with less expertise to build high quality model. While MLOps streamlines the entire machine learning lifecycle, the goal here is to make the development and deployment more efficient and reliable. And it also helps to improve collaboration between data scientists and operations team. They are the one that helps to manage the models in production, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you think about it, essentially enterprises can use both AutoML and MLOps platform to their advantage. And speaking of this in particular, this was actually demonstrated in the same validated solution that I mentioned previously, which also leveraged another solution in which Dell Technologies collaborated with Converge.io to deliver jointly engineered and tested solution for MLOps for AI.
Oh, wow. That all seems very streamlined and simplified compared to what we're all used to seeing. So I wish we had something like this, and I had access to it when I was getting started in the industry. And as we get to the implementation, I'd love to see exactly how they work together. And I'm sure we'll get to that. And regarding the actual implementation, though, how do tools like AutoML and H20 Driverless AI fit into the typical ML workflow?
Certainly, if you look at the workflow that we use to build machine learning models using driverless AI, you can see how similar it is to a typical machine learning workflow. I can give you a few overview of like some of the steps if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So let's take for example, right? The first step is data ingestion, which involves importing data from various formats and file systems. The next is data preparation, which includes tasks like data cleaning, data transformation, and preparing the data for analysis and feature engineering. And what's cool is that H2O driverless AI uses a unique genetic algorithm to automatically find new high-value feature combination for specific data sets. And next is the most interesting part, which is like you're building machine learning models. So in this particular phase, driverless AI can automatically train several inbuilt models and have AutoML select the best one. Or it could be something like a final ensemble of models based on user-defined parameters and metrics. And this is basically accomplished by creating and running experiments. And once the experiment is complete and the users are happy with the results, we want to see how we can production it, right? So to put it simply, the model can be easily deployed in cloud, on-premise, or at the edge. Finally, to get predictions on real-world data from the models deployed in production, it's easier to connect to the APIs and get the results.
Ah, I see. Well, that definitely sounds really convenient, and it's always nice to have options. So it's cool that you can have, the best one, have them pick it or get an ensemble. So beyond thinking conceptually, let's say I want to start using H2O driverless AI today. How do I go about deploying the necessary infrastructure to start? I feel like that's usually the hardest step to take.
Sure. H2O driverless AI can be deployed for an enterprise team from H2O AI, or it could be on Kubernetes or as a standalone container. Enterprise team can be deployed using Helm, which allows you to create driverless AI instances. You can use each instance for model building for a specific project. In the example that you see here, we can see that there are 3 instances of H2O driverless AI deployed for automated model training for 3 different use cases. First one is natural language processing, the next is time series forecasting, and the last one is image classification. So these are deployed on Dell Infrastructure, which uses Dell PowerEdge servers, Dell PowerScale storage, and Dell PowerSwitch.
Oh, I see. And looking at the architecture, I can also see how infrastructure plays a really critical role in this. And I know Dell's been in the game for a long time, and as a Dell engineer, you might be a little bit biased, but as an AI and ML expert who has worked with countless companies, why do you think, I or anyone should deploy on Dell infrastructure?
uh, well, I would say simplified process, thorough validation, and reliability are the biggest reasons. In specific to driverless AI, Dell Technologies has collaborated with H2 AI to jointly deliver two engineered and validated solution. This basically helps organization to easily capitalize on the benefits of AutoML. So the first solution is validated design for AI with VMware and NVIDIA, which incorporates Dell Technologies Infrastructure, VMware vSphere with Tanzu, NVIDIA GPUs, along with NVIDIA AI Enterprise. It is basically a virtualization platform that enables an enterprise to manage clusters of both on-demand Kubernetes containers alongside traditional VMs for complete lifecycle management. The second solution is the validated design for analytics, which incorporates Data Lakehouse and Robin Cloud Native Platform for the Kubernetes layer, and it's deployed on Dell Infrastructure. So you can see that how we are trying to use multiple ecosystem or environment to help customers who are working on different scenarios.
Yeah, for sure. And I can imagine how, these validated solutions would be helpful for a variety of users. So you definitely sold me there, especially considering that every company has different needs and environments. Some might be small or a large enterprise. So do you have any information on how to properly size deployments for tools like H20 Driverless AI?
Yes, definitely. So for driverless AI, we recommend three sizing for deployments, minimum, mainstream, and high performance deployment. The first one is recommended for organizations that are just starting their AI journey, right? And it can support up to 5 projects and workspaces. And think of it like it can be used to solve like classic machine learning or statistical modeling that does not require GPU acceleration. The next is mainstream. The mainstream deployment is recommended for organization that want to start using GPUs and can support up to 10 projects. And finally, the high performance deployment, which is recommended for organizations that want to train and deploy models at scale, and it can support up to 20 active projects. So this is how we had sized, and these are some of the recommendations.
Ah, well, it's great that companies of all sizes can use AML these days. And I could see how this would be useful for virtually every industry. But can you speak about a specific use case where you've seen it deployed?
Sure. I can give you a sample example of an image classification that we used in a validation. In this use case, the objective was to identify the type of vehicle based on image. The workflow starts with data ingestion. The data was taken from publicly available vehicle type image dataset. We then split it into training, validation, and test data and uploaded them to H20 Driverless AI local repository. The configuration of the model that is used for training can actually be adjusted. And this could be dependent on the use case. For example, a financial use case might need higher model interpretability. Since it is a sample use case, we are focusing on higher accuracy and faster training. Hence, the accuracy and time were set to 10 and interpretability was set to 1 in the training settings. And this would allow driverless AI to choose more complex models for training. Once the training and evaluation is complete and we're happy with the results, the scoring pipeline can be downloaded, and basically it contains all the models required to be deployed in production. So that's how we go from starting with data ingestion to actually getting a model that could be deployed in production.
Cool. Thank you for the example, Srini. Let's say I want to build a use case like this to identify my imaginary Tesla, and I'm trying to set up driverless AI. Where can I turn to for help? Because, just from my experience, I think we can all feel a bit frustrated during the process. So can you tell us what support there is when you're running into issues or just wanting to get started and don't know how?
Sure. I totally understand what you're saying. And for the specific purpose, right? So we have Dell Technologies Customer Solution Center. And at CSC, we have solution architects who can help you with hands-on implementation and proof of concepts to basically validate solutions of your preference. And if you're a type of person who likes to dive deep into technical solution details or design sessions, so we have some options for you too. So we have subject matter experts who can help you with actually solution-focused discussions that would help you to do that. And if you're interested, I can actually share links for you to get started.
Yeah, nice. I'll be sure to check those out for and any last words before we go?
Absolutely. So this has been a great discussion what we had today. And before we go, I would just like to highlight that we are in a golden age of AML. where there are methods and tools like AutoML and H20 Driverless AI to make the machine learning available for both experts and non-experts alike. And companies like Dell Technologies are making it easier than ever to adopt these technologies by providing a portfolio of fully validated solutions that are ready to go. So if you want to, it's a great time to start.
Well said. And thank you again for being here, Srini. And thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more news in the world of ANML as we look forward to another episode of Tech Talk.